You want to hear a short class?
Hear another one?
Do you want to hear another one?
Yeah. Hear a third one?
A third one. Okay. Bandeham Shiguro Shiyata Parakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavamscha Shirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vidamscha Om Agyana Timaranda Syagyana Jana Shilakaya Chakshurun Nalitam Yena Tasmai Shigurve Namah Gurva Bistam Supurakam Guragan Ganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samastaveda Nipunam Shirupa Patana Gam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwaguruncha Divyad Bhagavat Prem Noe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Chilanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Baranam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Mandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Shredaram Vanchakopatarubhyas Chakripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is going back to Madhya-lila, chapter 12, the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. Okay? Now we did this before, but I don't remember where I left off, and then we jumped around, so I'm going back at the beginning to maintain the sequence, okay? Shri Gundicha Mandiram Atma Vrindai Samarjayan Shala Natash Sagora Swachitavach Chitalam Ujwalam Cha Krishnopavesho Vayukam Shakara Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Dandavat, Srila Bhakti, Sripad Bhakti, Chandan Parvat Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple with his devotees and associates. In this way, he made it as cool and bright as his own heart, and thus he made the temple a befitting place for Lord Sri Krishna to sit. So as we said, this chapter, cleansing the Gundicha temple, the Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra will be taken from Sri Nilachala, which is the Jagannath Puri temple, to Sundarachala, which is the Sri Gundicha temple. And before they take the deities there on the Ratha-yatra, Mahaprabhu takes all his devotees and they clean the Gundicha temple. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has talked about how this Gundicha temple refers to also how the devotee cleanses, takes care to cleanse his or her heart, and thus make it a fitting place for the Lord to be seated. Okay? So Jaya Jaya Gaurachandra, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Gaurachandra, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Chandra, and all glories to the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Jaya Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktagan, Shakti Deho Gauri Jaina Chaitanya Varnan. All glories to the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, headed by Srivas Thakur. I beg their power so that I can properly describe Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purvedakina hoete Prabhu Jabe Aila, Thare Milite Gajapati Utkantita Hoila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from his South India tour, Maharaj Pratraparudra, the king of Orissa, became very anxious to meet him. Katakoite Patridila Sarvabhaumatai Prabhura Agya Hoy Jadi Dikibarijai. The king sent a letter from his capital, Katak, to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, entreating him to obtain the Lord's permission so that he could go and see him. Okay. Bhattacharya Likila Prabhur Agya Nahoila Punarapi Rajatari Patri Pataila. Replying to the king's letter, The Bhattacharya wrote that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not given his permission. After this, the king wrote him another letter. Prabhuranikatayache Jatabhaktagan Moralage Tasavare Korea Nibedan. In this letter, the king requested Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, please appeal to all the devotees associated with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and submit this petition to them on my behalf. Se sab doyalu more hoya sadoy moralage prabhupade koribe vinoy. If all the devotees associated with the Lord are favorably disposed toward me, they can submit my petition at the lotus feet of the Lord. Tasabara prasade mili Shri Prabhu Rabhai Prabhu Kripa Bina Mor Raja Nahibai. By the mercy of all the devotees, one can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Without his mercy, my kingdom does not appeal to me. Jani More Kripana Koribe Gorahari Raja Chari Joge Hoy Hoiba Bikari. If Gorahari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will not show his mercy to me, I shall give up my kingdom, become a mendicant, and beg from door to door. So this is the king expressing himself to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Please convince Mahaprabhu to give me darshan. Otherwise, I'll renounce my kingdom and I'll become a beggar. Bhattacharya Patrideki Chintita Haya Bhaktagan Pashagela Sepatra Loya. When the Bhattacharya received this letter, he became very anxious. He then took the letter and went to the devotees of the Lord. Sabare Milia Kohila Raja Bivaran Piche se Patri Sabare Koraila Darshan. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya met with all the devotees and described the king's wishes. Then he presented the letter to all of them for inspection. Patrideki Sabar Mane Hoila Bismoy Prabhupada Gajapatir Ete Bhakti Hoy. Upon receiving the letter, everyone was astonished to see that Maharaj Pratraparudra had so much devotion for the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sabe kohe Prabhu tare kabuna milibe amisab kohe jadi duka se manibe. The devotees gave their opinion and said, the Lord will never meet the king. And if we requested him to do so, the Lord would surely feel very unhappy. So the devotees know that Mahaprabhu will not meet with a king because Mahaprabhu doesn't want to meet with a Vishai, with a materialistic person. Okay. Sarvabhauma kohe sabe chela ekbar militena kohiba raja vyavahar. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then said, we shall go once again to the Lord, but we shall not request him to meet the king. Rather, we shall simply describe the good behavior of the king. Eta bole sabe gela Mahaprabhu stane kohite unmuka sabe na kohe bachane. Having thus reached a decision, they all went to the place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There, although ready to speak, they could not even utter a word. Prabhu kohe ki kohite sabar agaman dekiye kohite chaha nakaha ki karan. After they arrived at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place, the Lord, seeing them, said, what have you all come here to say? I see that you want to say something, but you do not speak. What is the reason? Because they're all very timid. They don't want to, they're afraid to tell the Mahaprabhu that. But Nityananda, he's not afraid. So Nityananda kohe tomai chahi nivedite na kohile rohite nari kohite bai chite. Nityananda Prabhu then said, we want to tell you something. Although we cannot stay without speaking, we are still very much afraid to speak. And Nityananda will embellish the king's request, obviously. Jogja jogya tomai sab chahe nivedite tomana milite raja chahe jogi hoite. We want to submit before you something that may or may not be befitting. The matter is this: unless he sees you, the king of Orissa will become a yogi, a mendicant, and go from door to door. Kane mudra loy mui hoiba bikari raja boga nahi chite bina gorahari. Nityananda Prabhu continued, the king has decided to become a yogi and accept the sign of a mendicant by wearing an ivory earring. He does not want to enjoy his kingdom without seeing the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In India, there is still a class of professional mendicants who are very much like the gypsies of Western countries. They know some magical art and mystical processes, and their business is to beg from door to door, sometimes pleading and sometimes threatening. So they can't go door to door here because we have no doors. Such mendicants are sometimes called yogis and sometimes Kanafata yogis. The word Kanafata refers to one who has put a hole in his ear to wear an earring made of ivory. Maharaj Prataparudra was so depressed by not getting to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he decided to become such a yogi. Ordinary men think that a yogi must have an ivory earring in his ear, but this is not the sign of a real yogi. Maharaj Prataparudra also thought to become a mendicant yogi, one must wear such an earring. Of course, it's Nityananda who's describing this kind of yogi, that the king just said he'd give up his kingdom. But Nityananda Prabhu says he wants to become a yogi and put an ivory earring in his ear and go door to door. Dekiba se mukha chandra naya Maria Dariba se Pada Padma Hridoye Tulia. Nityananda Prabhu continued. The king has also expressed his desire to see the moon-like face of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his eyes' full satisfaction. He would like to raise the lotus feet of the Lord to his heart. Jajapi Shunya Prabhu Komala Hoiman Tatapi Bahire Kohi Nishtura Bachan. Hearing all these statements, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind was certainly softened, but externally he wished to speak some harsh words. Toma Sabaricha e Amarelaya Rajake Milaha Ihan Katake Tegia. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I can understand that all you desired to take me to Cuttack to see the king. And they didn't mention that going to Cuttack, but Mahaprabhu said, I can see that all of you want to take me to Cuttack to go see the king. Not that the king will come to see me, but I will go to, you want me to go to Cuttack with you. Paramartha Thakur Loke Koribe Nindan Loke Rahu Damodar Koribe Bartsan. Mahaprabhu continued, what to speak of spiritual advancement? All the people will blaspheme me. And what to speak of all the people? Damodar would chastise me. Because this isn't Swarup Damodar. This is Damodar Pandit. He is one of the four persons who came from Bengal with Mahaprabhu. But Damodar Pandits, sometimes has the habit of correcting the Lord and sometimes criticizing his activities, because he wants to maintain social etiquette. Toma Sabar Agyayami na mili rajare Damodar kohe jabe mili tabe tare. I shall not meet the king at the request of all the devotees, but I shall do so if Damodar will give his permission. Damodar kohe tumi swatantrishwar Kartavya sab Tomara Gochar. Damodar immediately replied, my Lord, you are the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since everything is known to you, you know what is permissible and what is not permissible. Amikon kudrajiv tomake bidideba apane milibetare tahal dekiba. I am merely an insignificant jiva, so what power do I have to give directions to you? By your own personal choice, you will meet the king. I shall see it. Raja tomare sneho kori tumi snehabas tare snehe karabe tare tomara parash. The king is very much attached to you, and you are feeling affection and love toward him. Thus I can understand that by virtue of the king's affection for you, you will touch him. Jajap Ishwara Tumi Parama Swatantra Tatapi Swabhabe How Prema Paratantra. Although you are the Supreme Lord himself and are completely independent, still you are dependent on the love and affection of your devotees. That is your nature. Nityananda Kohe Aiche Hoi Konjan Jaitomari Kohe Kora Raja Darshan. Nityananda Prabhu then said, who is there in the three worlds who can ask you to see the king? Thank you. Kintu anurage ko loker swabhava ek hoy ishtana paile nija pranana chadai. Still it is the nature of an attached man to give up his life if he does not attain his desired object. Jagjika Brahmani Sab Tahate Praman Krishna Lage Pati Age Charileka Pran. For instance, some of the wives of the Brahmins who were performing sacrifices gave up their lives in the presence of their husbands for the sake of Krishna. So when Krishna was with the cowherd boys, they were in the they were, we could say, like here camping in the pastures, and they were hungry, so they who did they send to beg the food? Well, some of the cowherd boys must have gone to the Brahmins to beg. Krishna's nearby. Can you please send some food for him? They were busy performing some yajna. They said, the yajna is not finished. We can't be bothered with this. But their Brahmins' wives, they said, oh, Krishna's hungry, and they sent things to Krishna. And some of the wives were restrained by their husbands, and they actually, in meditation, gave up their bodies and went to see Krishna. So, for instance, some of the wives of the Brahmins who were performing sacrifices gave up their lives in the presence of their husbands for the sake of Krishna. Ek jukti ache jadi kora arbadan tumina miliha tare rahetara pran. Nityananda Prabhu then submitted one suggestion for the Lord's consideration. There is a way, he suggested, by which you need not meet the king, but which would enable the king to continue living. Ek bahirvas jadi deho kripa kori tahapana Pana prana rake tomara ashadori. If you, out of your mercy, send some of your clothes to the king would live, hoping to see you sometime in the future. Prabhu kohe tumi sab parama bidvan jay malo hoy say korasamadan. The Lord said, since you are all very learned personalities, whatever you decide I shall accept. Tabe Nityananda Gosai Govindara Pash Magya Loila Prabhu Ek Bahirvas. Nityananda Prabhu then obtained an external garment. That means like a dhoti of the Lord. Sannyas or Babaji Vesh, and he sent it. Nityananda Prabhu then obtained an external garment used by the Lord by requesting it from Govinda. Govinda is Mahaprabhu's servant. Se bahirva sarvabhoma pashadila sarvabhoma sebastra rajare patala. Thus Nityananda Prabhu delivered the old cloth into the care of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sent it to the king. Bastrabhaya Rajar Hoila Nanditaman Prabhu Rupa Kore Bastrara Puja. When the king received the old cloth, he began to worship it exactly as he would worship the Lord personally. Ramananda Rai Jabe Dakina Hoite Aila Prabhu Sange Rohite Rajake Nibiyadila. After returning from his service in South India, Ramananda Roy requested the king to allow him to remain with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tabe Raja Santoshe Tahare Agyadila Apane Milana Lage Shadite Lagila. When Ramananda Roy requested the king to allow him to stay with the Lord, the king immediately gave him permission with great satisfaction. As for the king himself, he began to solicit Ramananda Roy to make a meeting arrangement. So this is like in the background of all these chapters, and in the Gundicha margin is this very important chapter. This description is this undercurrent which is going on, that the king wants to meet Mahaprabhu, and everything is being done so that he can meet with Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu is resisting. He doesn't want to meet with the king. At least he's showing that. And now the king has requested Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Ramananda Roy met with Mahaprabhu in South India. The Lord requested him, you come and live with me. So Mahaprabhu's two close servants become Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar. So now Ramananda Roy tells the king that I want to serve Mahaprabhu. The king is very happy, says, yes, immediately. You go serve Mahaprabhu, you live with Mahaprabhu, and I will pay you your full salary, like as a pension. So the king is very much attached to Mahaprabhu, and so eventually his feelings will triumph and he'll be able to meet with Mahaprabhu. But in doing so, during the Ratha-yatra, he will take off his dress of a king, and he'll first, as a king, sweep the street in front of in front of Jagannath's car, and then later, when Mahaprabhu is danced and is in the park resting, the king will go there, not in a king's dress, but as a humble Vaishnava, and then he will get the mercy of the Lord. And as it says externally, the Lord will not even know that he's a king, but we know that the Lord knows he's a king, because after that instant, the king Mahaprabhu freely met with the king and embraced him and everything. But that time, the king took off his royal dress, put on the dress of a Vaishnava, met Mahaprabhu. So this is like an undercurrent. What do you call it? It's a thread that's running through these chapters. Oh. Tabi Raja Santoshe Tahare Agyadila Apane Milana Lage Shodite Lagila. When Ramananda Roy requested the king to allow him to stay with the Lord, the king immediately gave his permission with great satisfaction. As for the king himself, he began to solicit Ramananda Roy to make a meeting arrangement. Mahaprabhu Ma Kripa Korana Tomare More Milibare Abhasha Shodibe Tahare. The king told Ramananda Roy, Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful to you. Therefore, please solicit my meeting with him without fail. Ek sange duijan ketre jabe aila Ramananda Roy tabe Prabhu Milila. The king and Ramananda Roy returned together to Jagannath Puri, and Sri Ramananda Roy met with Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada Prema Bhakti Chanaila Rajar Prasangapaya Aiche Kohe Barbar. At that time, Ramananda Roy informed Mahaprabhu about the ecstatic love of the king. Indeed, as soon as there was some opportunity, he repeatedly informed the Lord about the king. So Ramananda Roy was as a minister, so he knows about diplomacy, whereas Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is a Brahmin. He's very direct. Mahaprabhu says, I see all of you want to say something. And then it comes out like, the king wants to meet with you. He's very determined. And then Mahaprabhu immediately brushes that off. But when Ramananda Roy does it, he does it in a different way. Because he knows that obviously Ramananda Roy is very close to Mahaprabhu. So he describes how the king was, when I requested to be released from his service, he was so moved. So we'll hear that. The king and Ramananda Roy returned together to Jagannath Puri, and Sri Ramananda Roy met Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada Prema Bhakti Jananila Rajar Prasangabhaya Aiche Kohe Barbar. At that time, Ramananda Roy informed Mahaprabhu about the ecstatic love of the king. Indeed, as soon as there was some opportunity, he repeatedly informed the Lord about the king. Raja Mandri Ramananda Vyabhahare Nipun Raja Priti Kohe Drabila Prabhurman. Sri Ramananda Roy was indeed a diplomatic minister for the king. His general behavior was very expert, and simply by describing the king's love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gradually softened the Lord's mind. Udkantate prataparudra nare rahibare Ramananda shodilena prabhure milibare. Maharaj Prataparudra, in great anxiety, could not endure not seeing the Lord. Therefore, Sri Ramananda Roy, by his diplomacy, arranged a meeting with the Lord for the king. Ramananda Prabhupada Koilani Vedan Ekbar Prataparudra Dekaha Charan. Sri Ramananda Roy frankly requested Mahaprabhu, please show your lotus feet to the king at least once. Please, allow the Lord to see you at least one time. Prabhu Kohe Ramananda Kaha Vicharya Rajake Milite Jujai Sanyasi Hoya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, my dear Ramananda, You should make this request after duly considering whether it is befitting for a sannyasi to meet a king. A nice dance tune. Okay. Rajara milane bikuker dui lokanash paraloka roheloke koryupahas. If a mendicant meets a king, this world and the next world are both destroyed for the mendicant. Indeed, what is there to say of the next world? In this world, people will joke if a sannyasi meets a king. Ramananda kohe tumi Ishwara Swatandra kore tomar bai tumi Mahaparatandra. Ramananda Roy replied, My Lord, you are the supreme independent personality. You have nothing to fear from anyone because you are not dependent on anyone. Prabhu kohami manusya ashrame sannyasi kayamano bhakye vyabhare by basi. When Ramananda Roy addressed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Lord, Mahaprabhu objected, saying, I am not the Supreme Lord, but an ordinary human being. Therefore I must fear public opinion in three ways, with my body, mind, and words. So, Mahaprabhu has revealed himself to Ramananda Roy, showing him his divine form of Krishna covered with the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. Shown this to Ramananda Roy. And he's shown to Maharaj, he's shown to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's divine form, as Krishna, as sannyasi, and as what else? Sadbhuj. Did he show that to Ramananda? No, he showed him his form as Vishnu. He showed him his form as Krishna and Vishnu. And so, when Ramananda Roy addressed Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Lord, which he is, Mahaprabhu objected, saying, I am not the Lord, but an ordinary human being. Therefore I must fear public opinion in three ways, with my body, mind, and words. Because if somebody will call Mahaprabhu the Supreme Lord, then he will object, and sometimes he'll cover his ears and say, Vishnu, 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 what are you saying? So, he's showing that, we're not to just say that somebody's the Lord, because that's so much the habit. In India, people will say, yes, my son, he looks just like Krishna. Yeah, right. Shukla Bastre Mashi Bindu Jaichina Lukai Sanyasira Alpachidra Sarva Lokegai. As soon as the general public finds a little fault in the behavior of a sannyasi, they advertise it like wildfire. A black spot of ink cannot be hidden on a white cloth. It is always very prominent. Raya Kohe Kota Papir Korijacha Avyahati Ishwara Sevaka Tomar Bhakta Gajapati. Ramananda replied, My dear Lord, you have delivered so many sinful people. This Maharaj Pratraparudra, the king of Orissa, is actually a servitor of the Lord and your devotee. Prabhu Kohe Purna Jaiche Dugdera Kolash Surabindu Pate Keho Nakore Parash. Mahaprabhu then said, there may be much milk in a big pot, but if it is contaminated by a drop of liquor, it is untouchable. Certainly there are places in the United States where they feel that way. A drop of liquor will contaminate a pot of milk, isn't it? Some places liquor is almost outlawed. Almost. Jajabi Pratrapurudra Sarva Gunaban Tahare Malina Koila Ek Rajanam. The king certainly possesses all good qualities, but simply by taking up the name king, he has infected everything. Tatapi Tomar Jadi Mahagraha Hoy Tabeani Milahatumi Taharatanoi. But if you are still very eager for the king to meet with me, please that first bring his son to meet me. Atmavai jayate putra esh shastrabani putrara milane jaina milibeyapani. It is indicated in the revealed scriptures that the son represents the father. Therefore, the son's meeting with me would be just as good as the king's meeting with me. So then Mahaprabhu, will be arranged that the king's son meets with Mahaprabhu. The son actually does look like Krishna. And Mahaprabhu is reminded of Krishna, and he says, oh, here's a great devotee. And Mahaprabhu embraces the king's son, and the king's son becomes like ecstatic and begins dancing and crying and shedding tears and chanting the holy names of the Lord. And then when the son returns to meet with the king embraces his son, and the king is overwhelmed with ecstatic love too, just by touching his son. So that we'll hear that in days, but next days. But now we are immediately at the task that we're not a task. Well, it's in one sense a task in the sense that we have some sadness that all the devotees will be leaving and returning to their respective places. And, we want to express so much feeling that we have for the devotees being here. This is what makes our ashram feel like an ashram, that, and we feel that this is, for the satisfaction of their lordship, Shishi, Guru, Gauranga, Gandharvika, Giridhari, and especially for the satisfaction of our beloved Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, and all our acharyas, and I'm sure that Govinda Maharaj is very pleased, with the attitude of the devotees to come here and join in glorifying the Lord and everything. And this is very nice. One devotee expressed to me that he wanted to go to India, but at the same time, I'm happy that we can have such a function as we would have during Gaur Purnima or during Kartik. We could have it here in Soquel and have it, as we said, we want to have this regularly. We want to have more and more and more Govinda Melas, And this is really, when we were with Govinda Maharaj traveling, when we were in India, this was what was the nature of everything, was a meeting of the devotees, a great festival, glorification of our spiritual master, and, the devotees glorifying each other. So we have had that here, and we're happy that this took place, like I personally, before I could not have imagined this happening with the fervor that it happened here. And I was really extremely, moved by the love and devotion of the devotees coming here. I could not have imagined that it was going to happen on such a nice scale. But it has happened, and now we are at the point where we have to bid all the devotees farewell, and that is, we understand that everyone has to return to their service and to the places where they're going, And some of the devotees, like Madhusuda Maharaj, they're traveling from place to place. Tyagi Maharaj is traveling from place to place. So it's, he's going to his next destination. They're going to where their service takes them. This Vishaka came here. Vishaka also, she's traveling. All of you have made some personal sacrifice in coming here. As we know that it's, time, some expense, and some persons even like Sachi, even though her health is not good, she still came here, because of her eagerness to be with the devotees. And we know that all of you, when you return, it is our, it was the desire of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur that he expressed, that when you return, now we have had this great festival, and when you return to the places of your residence, please also engage in Harikatha, engage in chanting the holy names of the Lord, engage with others in Nam Sankirtan, and continue in this way, right? It was Srila Saraswati Thakur's request to all the devotees. Now that you're going home, please do not forget what we experienced here in the association of one another. So he asked that you will please continue with this. And I am, happy to see and hear that so many of you are already, engaged in preaching activities. Like devotees came here, and some of them are, are young, and they came here, and it, takes us back to all the time when we joined in the mission, and kind of like the fervor, and we can even say fanaticism that some of us expressed, when I joined, sannyasis, brahmacharis, householders, it didn't matter. All the men were practically living in the temple. They all had shaved heads and sikas. They all wore dhotis and kurtas, I think, and they all had this, all had this mood that they would not allow Maya 1 inch, because it's been expressed by our acharyas that, that, I don't know the exact words, but it means, preaching means a fight against Maya, and that Maya, you advance and do some endeavor, and Maya will also counterattack, right? So there's always this going on. Guru Maharaj expressed it as thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. You present some thesis, then there's some antithesis, and then you go on again with some synthesis. So moving always, some development, some further development, some resistance and some further development. I am doing this. Maya says, well, I am doing this. And then you go, okay, then I will do this. So you're whatever Maya is countering with, you will come back with something, I will counter that. I will see that and I will raise you one like that. So that is thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Guru Maharaj quoted Hegel in saying this, but you won't exactly find what Guru Maharaj says in Hegel. Guru Maharaj is his own synthesis, we'll say. So anyway, you're all going back to your places, and I see that already, that this is very wonderful, because when Govinda Maharaj was traveling and going all over the world, everywhere he went, new centers sprang up and developed. Mexico and Russia, wherever he went, or wherever devotees heard about him and met with the devotees, they returned to their places and they started something. And in this way, it was like describe Mahaprabhu's trip to South India. Wherever he went, whoever he met with, he gave them, they became imbued with Krishna consciousness, and then they went back and they started something. So anyway, that's my feelings of, happiness to be with all of you. You're going back now. Jaggi Maharaj will say something, and then we'll go on with our. Okay. So anyway, we'll end here, and what can I say? I hope to meet with all of you again in the future, next Govinda Mela, or before then also. Maybe going to some places, we'll meet somewhere. Maybe we'll meet here. Maybe we'll meet in the place where you're at, or maybe we'll meet in England, or we'll meet in India, or we'll meet in, Uzbekistan, or wherever we're going next. Okay. My Dandavat pranams to all of you. Okay. Where'd those kartals go? They were here 1 minute. There. The heavier ones, yeah. Okay. We can move that phone. I'll move this out of the way, and we'll have some kirtan and Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namah
Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namah
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
Giridhari Gopinath
Giridhari Gopinath
Gopalina Gandharvika Giridhari Ki
Jai.
Shri Govinda Mela Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Mela Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Mela Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Bharavajaka Charya Ashtatara Sada Shri Sripad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Bharavajaka Charya Ashtatara Sada Shri Sripad Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattadass Raghunath Sadguru Swami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishwabharanya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Dham Mayapur Ki Jai. The Parshad of Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. The Parshad of Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Sri Kuladvik Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Namadevi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Ekadasi Upavas Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Chandra Bhargat Maharaj Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Kushamashra Maharaj Ki Jai. Moralia Ki Jai. Devasi Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishaka Devi Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai.